Good evening and welcome to another scene in the living world of darkness, Camarilla and Arc venue. Another day in the ground, in the bunker under the ground. And we, first let's see, we'll start with Mr. Langwood and Mr. Connors, currently in one of the main rooms in the bunker. And maybe they've just met. Actually, I'm not sure.
They'd seen each other around. They were on the last mission together, but they've not actually spoken.
Yeah, no, they haven't. Well, apart from the missions, they haven't really spent time talking to each other. No.
No, not really.
And so yeah, they're together. Mr. Connors, I don't believe we've had much time to talk.
He'll look up from the thing he's been working on, and he'll just glance at Scott and say, "No, I believe we haven't. Unfortunately, last time we met, there wasn't much time to talk with all that was going on. You know, when someone's shooting fire at you, the last thing you think of is, well, talking."
And he'll nod, smile. Yes, it was quite, well, thrilling at least. Are you going all right after this mission?
He just kind of shrugs his shoulders. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I've just been working on a couple of leads for Alec. I'm actually thinking of joining the unit, but I'm not quite sure yet. But for the most part, I seem to be doing well. How are you doing?
He'll nod. Well, if you want to join the unit, we'll be happy to welcome you. But there is still, if you still want to think about it, that is fine. Make sure you know which country you want to join before you do. I'm doing fine. I've been training, trying to find a way to bring the Sabbat down.
You just let out a slight chuckle at that. Well, that's what we seem to be doing. From what I've seen, we've made some progress, but... And he kind of hesitates for a moment. Well, actually, I just don't know if we're dealing with this as effectively as we should. And at this he'll...
Sorry, go ahead.
At this he'll just start typing. He's got his computer screen up, and he'll start just trying to show something up.
Yes, Scott will look if he's showing him.
Yeah, Hayden will then just show him a video from the Samantha Dolan mission, which shows it shows several well, basically it shows the entire high society party and how, you know, what basically happens when all of the kids get high. And then Hayden just kind of glances towards him and says something like, technology is a miracle nowadays. You can catch all sorts of things that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. I was thinking that this actually might be able to help us in our fight, you know, weaken any influence they have on high society. Those sort of things that the media love to run away with. You know, society teens taking drugs at these parties, you know, and they'll be cloistered in, and that'll hopefully give us about less chance to work with them. But what have you been working on?
Mostly my training, trying to find plans on how to take Emily down.
Yeah. Well, what do we know about Emily? I remember when I was with my clan, we talked about her briefly, I think.
She had betrayed just before I came to New York. From what I've heard, she's known to be quite powerful, both
I heard.
with and without her powers.
Yeah, I heard that she was a member of our clan before. I think that's why Nikki and Alec and Samson seem to have taken the betrayal, as it were, quite seriously. In fact,
More than that, Mr. Connor. What's that your name? Connors or Connor?
yes, that was my name. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see you again. And he'll amiably smile and nod to his older.
He will come over and just put out a hand. It's a gloved hand, but he will stand there. But just put out a hand, and it seems as though he's expecting you to shake it.
Yeah. Hayden he'll shake Theodore's hand, and what Theodore might notice is that his hand feels very cold to the touch. He shakes it for a second and then just lets go.
Well, I assume you're rather busy. I understand. You notice that he stands there for a second or two, and then he says, "Regards to this former member of Camarilla, not only was she a betrayer, she was also quite a rising star in the Camarilla, which made the betrayal sting just a little bit more."
I assume that was not just a betrayal, but an embarrassment. That, well, one of the rising stars of the Camarilla betrayed them in such a way.
Well, I would say it would be quite an embarrassment to the clan. At least Isaac thinks so. Cannot say that I blame him.
I had heard that she was quite a competent hound for the city. Something to watch out for. If she's competent as a hound, she'll be competent against us.
Quite so. I myself have never met her. So I can only refer to what others say.
Well, as I said earlier, I believe that's something that Clan Gangrel is taken very seriously. We've been trying to get a location on her, but we didn't get a precise place. All we heard was that apparently she was acting strangely before she defected.
Well, that would perhaps be a fairly large understatement, wouldn't you say? Or at least very self-explanatory.
Perhaps, and he'll look down to his computer screen and he'll hum something. I won't hum it myself because I can't hum, but he'll just hum a tune and then he'll glance up back to Theodore. That was what you hummed to me when we first met. It was, what was it? He'll just kind of think for a minute.
Oh. And he will, he'll stand there for a second. Just, wait, one moment. day we met. And he will try like 2 or 3 or 4 tunes, and he will tune into the right one, but he'll stand there and he will get a bit lost in humming for a moment, and then he'll just yes, I believe that was the one. Sorry. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Mr. Langwood. I hope your night is treating you well.
It's treating me well as it can, and he'll go for the handshake.
You'll return it. Good, good. Have you?
How about you? What is his last name again, out of character?
Williams.
How about you, Mr. Williams? I hope you haven't run into many troubles.
No, not more than usual. But tell me, Mr. Langwood, have you been in contact with Mr. Spillane?
It's in my intentions to speak to him soon. I've been busy working on plans lately. I'm afraid to say I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, outside of missions.
Right. Do keep your eyes open. He might have a bit of work, and he looks to the gangrel and just says, "He might have a work for quite a few of us in the immediate future, but things might change. Not entirely sure yet, but just do keep your plans somewhat concise for the moment. You might be soon having a sizable operation, hopefully."
Of course, I'll do my best. I believe on the last 2 missions I went on were done extremely well, effectively, with no casualties of our own, and the targets were retrieved safely, and no masquerade breaches in sight.
As it should be. As it should be.
Yes, indeed. I may have had to make a couple of sacrifices. He just kind of blushes for a moment awkwardly, and then he's never mind. I apologise. We were talking about business. It doesn't matter what happened.
Yeah, if you say so. I do believe that we're not apparently at a particular rush. You can, if there is a concern or something, you can speak freely, of course.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing you need to be worried or concerned about. I just may have gotten a little unwanted attention at the party we went to, but one of the kind decided that they apparently loved me, but I said it's no matter. It's nothing important. I was actually hoping to ask a few questions on
Please, go ahead.
Well, you see, I've been digging around with blueprints and what we have here in the bunker, and from what I can see at the minute, it seems like we're low on computer power, as it were. I've been trying to extend my resources, but I'm not quite sure if these resources exist. I've been trying to find Emily, as it were, and I'm not sure where to start, to be honest.
Well, I would probably, for the moment, advise you to direct your attention to other fields. There's other things we might need.
Such as?
Well, Lucius, the Tremere, had.
Yes, I believe I spoke to him a couple of nights before actually, about my application to the unit, which I shall shortly be making.
Ah, good. He started a investigation into a place, and well, it did cast out certain things, but Mr. Spillane has been, of course, busy, and well, there's a place I need. There's a person called Earl that I need someone to deal with soon, and he hasn't been dealt with yet, which is a bit concerning. But I would like someone to keep an eye on the place that, well, maybe look into the place, see if they can find something new. We can at least have some idea of, well, if anyone goes there, they know what they're getting into.
He'll just nod. Okay, I could.
He will give you an address. He finds a piece of paper, writes quickly writes down an address, and just passes it to you. Just nothing major. It's just.
Is it just a source of investigation, or is it a place which has been posing you problems for quite some time?
Not me personally, but well, I'm afraid it's causing quite a lot of problems for the local populace. Well, humans. But well, I know that resources are stretched, and I cannot directly tell Mrs. Spillane what to do at what times, because sometimes it's simply not possible. I understand that. And our security here must be our primary concern, of course. But nonetheless, I want this place examined as much as possible.
Well, I'll make sure to check the address out from various angles before I consider approaching it myself. Actually,
I would advise you to not approach it unless you have quite a few of us with you.
why do you believe there would be trouble there? I do remember you just saying that Emily is powerful.
Well, it's another person. There's a person called Earl, and his pack that seems to reside there. But Mrs. Flynn has not been able to do anything about it just yet.
And which pack is this? I'm not sure if I've come across them before.
Ugh. You can tell that he just rubs his head a little, and just it's not right now, but his you see his true or his without any obfuscation on, and he just says, "Well, they call themselves the Meat Grinder. They are the typicals about shovelhead, lack of crass, lack of any humanity, just slaughter and violence and useless rabble, but thereby also very, very, very dangerous."
So it's not.
Just Daryl, if you want in, just say something.
Well, if
No, you keep going.
yeah, you're just trying to tilt his head. Well, if they're young, that means if they're shovelheads, as he said, if they're young,
Well,
that means
they're using shovelheads. Last time anyone counted them, there were at least 10, 15 people. Most of them with guns. So yes, going in alone would be very, very regrettable.
Well, there's not just one way to win a battle or a war. I'm not going to walk in myself, but it sounds like it's not a terribly sophisticated operation, which means they should be easier to deal with in theory.
Yes.
It's just a matter of figuring out who to put where and how to contain them.
Indeed. Indeed it is. But I understand if Miss Stevenson takes precedence.
With that, Will is kind of moving through the bunker in a bit of a definitely a hurried atmosphere, and seeing Theodore, he will quickly walk over, and he'll first kind of nod to everybody like, Theodore, I think there's something that we may need to relay to Isaac. It's very important.
Oh. A private affair, or?
I think at this point it should be private until we can better understand the situation. But I will be short, and I will quickly find Isaac, but I thought you should know as well.
Would you gentlemen have me excused for just one moment? Please, William, come this way. And he will just, escort William into the room just beside him. I do not require details. Just what is this regarding exactly?
I believe the bunker has been compromised. There was an attack at the front gate. Ted is in torpor, and somebody has fallen. Assamites, when we were escorting a clan list to a meeting.
How far?
Sorry?
How far from the bunker?
It was within Queens.
Within Queens?
Yes, from here to Queens.
Well, I thank you for bringing this to my attention, and you should inform Isaac. But I do not believe that this is enough to compromise us at this point. And I will make... He stands there for a moment, just such as what you think is his chin, with his hand. He just stands there. Well, I will have to change certain things, but truly. Good. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Yes. I will have to change my plans for tonight, but well, I think we are safe for the moment, especially if yes, thank you. He seems to be in the middle of like 2 or 3 things he's thinking out.
We will bring up the assailants were Assamites, most likely hired.
Indeed. Oh well. He just nods and then enters the room once more. In the room, is there anyone else who had entered?
Yes, there is. A certain bum has entered the place as well. I mean the bunker, right? In the bunker. Yeah. Good. Well, yeah. Benjamin would have been. I don't know. Maybe he took a nap or something after the other scene, but now he came into the bunker as well.
as Theodore sees him, he will just give him a tip of the hat and just, oh, good evening. I hope it finds you well.
Definitely. He says, I mean, under the circumstances.
Well, isn't that always the case?
Indeed. But I mean, now we have some bigger issues. Apparently, there have been. I assume that you have been told about the attack.
I have been made aware.
He nods.
Yes, I've heard, and well, this changes my plans for the evening, but oh well.
Is everyone on our side safe?
I believe so. Oh, pretty much.
And he'll nod. Good.
If I may ask, what circumstances led to the attack taking place?
That's a good question, Benjamin said. When we came back, everything had gone to shit, basically.
Well, he'll just kind of blink a little. That could mean many things. What do you mean by the phrase "it all went to shit"?
Well, let's see. There was we immediately smelled blood, and
Blood is in. Okay, blood is in human blood, or
blood as in
blood.
blood as in our blood. And see, I think his name was Chad or something, right? The dead Bruja.
No, he was in torpor. He was not dead.
Oh, okay. But he was lying there when we found him, and these assassins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and this dude I don't think I've met before was obviously torpored, and the people who had done it were still there. They're not anymore.
Well, that tends to happen when one's challenges one's betters.
Indeed, he says. It was quite a sight, actually. Sam Spillane wasted one of them in one shot.
Well, regardless, if these are indeed Asamites, I do not know if you've all had personal encounters. I would very much advise you to keep your distance.
So the estimates, these are the presumed assassins, or were.
Well, they have a reputation for taking, well, what shall we say, good-paying jobs, killing others. But...
Well, it just seems a little odd to me that he was torpored and not killed by the time you arrived.
Well, he just looks at you. Yes.
I mean,
what would one do with a relatively powerful torpor Bruja? I wonder.
Benjamin just stands there and nods. He knows exactly what others would do.
Asamites are not necessarily opposed to the idea of diablerie. Just a thought.
It sounds like you came in the nick of time to rescue them.
Yeah.
Last couple of missions seems like you've been doing a good job. Maybe you could come with me on something soon.
What did you have in mind?
Well, Mr. Williams has asked me to check out an address. As soon as I have the appropriate evidence, I'd like to check it out, but as you saw in our last mission together, I'm not exactly the physical type.
Do keep in mind that I do not want any one or two or three people to physically look into this place.
No, that's understandable. I just merely wish to spread the word.
Quite so. That's good. Good. Now, please, is there any other things that anyone would like to bring to my attention? I have to make some, precautions.
Hidden, just look at Vidola. Since I'm going to be looking into this address, and as a favor for you, and of course for our city, I was wondering, is there any equipment I might be able to repurpose or requisition for this purpose? I've been trying to work on a few pet projects, surveillance drones, that sort of thing, to basically see if we can extend our eyes and find anything else. Unfortunately, I've not been able to find much so far between the missions.
Normally, I would say that there would be quite a lot that I would be able to trade with you, but given our situation, I would probably advise against importing lots of gear. But, well, actually, at the moment, I might be the fastest to get to. Talk to Mr. Spillane. He seems to be able to, well, actually require pretty much anything he wants, which is, well, a bit concerning when you think about it, but oh well. I think he would be your best bet. Actually, he seems very resourceful in getting anything. Give him a call or talk to him. I'm frightfully busy. I don't believe I'll be able to provide that sort of equipment in any time soon. So.
Well, if Mistelan would be so kind as to spread the word, I'd be happy to pay him a visit.
I do have, if it's just I do have a bit of computers lying around, but I don't think that's what you're calling for.
Well, I'd be grateful to see what we have. I think it'd definitely be an asset for Bunker if, everyone had access to information at a quicker rate. Not just myself, but everyone else here as well. To be honest, I find
Theodore just leans in, just says, "And you're assuming we're not doing that already?"
No, I assume you're doing that already, but to be honest, it's also for selfish reasons. It's just an old hobby of mine I've had for a long time, restoring things to, from old to new, that sort of thing.
I see.
How unusual for? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I do have some things that could use a bit of sprucing up, I suppose. I'll get to, well, if you want to take a look at them, I can get them to you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe Scott will say that's very unusual for one of your clan. That something that is to be remembered. It can be of great value.
Of course, but from what I hear of your clan, you know how to attain and manage assets and make sure things are done. I like to think of the Gangrel as the same way. Even though we're all wanderers, that doesn't necessarily mean we're all warriors or, loner types. I don't know, I think Messiah might have seen something in me like that, but I don't know, I've never met him or her.
Oh, no. Think nothing of it. I totally understand.
But of course, but by old gear, I mean, what kind of hardware would you be talking about here?
I'd have to take a look. I can't remember on the top of my head. He just looks around. It's the Pollux. Is there anything else you can tell me of this? What shall we say? Encounter with this Assamite problem?
It did so quickly. We had no real time to interrogate. Their things betrayed their presence. At this point, we're concluded to believe the Assamites were out after the clan list that we escorted. Not necessarily directly for us, but it still is a concern that I wish to bring up.
Fair enough. He just looks at Benjamin and just, good job. It's good to see that you have stood by the others.
He knows. Thank you. He says, I want to prove my worth to the cause.
He looks to the others and just says, we all understand exactly why this about have to go, but I do believe that Benjamin here knows better than anyone else. But
he just nods calmly, but there's a rage in his eyes.
Well,
keep that in mind.
What would you mean by that? I kind of just sort of said curiously. You've had encounters with them before?
He chuckles a bit. Well, you might say that. I escaped the bastards.
Ah.
And let's just say that before I managed to do that, they made me do things that no one should ever do. And I won't rest until I rip their limbs from their sockets and drink out of their skulls.
Just remember the quote though. Beware of fighting monsters, lest he becomes a monster himself. I'm prepared to do what it takes to prove my worth to the cause and to help the city, of course, but we do this not just for ourselves, I'm sure, but to ensure that right is done. There's no way we can possibly have a functioning society with, well, vampires who've given into their beast running amok. And just some food for thought.
William kind of looks at Connors in a slightly disapproving glance.
Yeah. Yeah. Benjamin's not impressed either.
That's fine. He would have said that anyways. Yeah, he doesn't. He just tilts his head. He doesn't seem particularly affected, or even to have realised that you're not particularly impressed. But he'll just kind of continue typing on, working on something, and then he'll glance back. But if there's anything you need of me to try and ensure that these things don't happen, I'd be happy to lend my services.
Oh, I will take you up on that. Now, is there anyone else who would have anything for me tonight?
I just wish, once we come to the decision of our situation, I wish to be informed as quickly as possible if that's appropriate.
Keep your telephone handy. I will inform you.
Of course.
Actually, out of curiosity, if I wish to see someone who, and just kind of ponders for a moment. Well, if I wish to see someone who knew what they were doing in terms of social media and in terms of getting the word out, who would I speak to?
Well, depends on what circles you're asking. thing is, I think that there's quite a few, but well,
I'm just interested in.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Curtis.
I'd say something like, I just wish to liaise with people who have similar fields and skills to myself so that we may make a more concentrated effort, perhaps. I'm sure one lone gangrel on his own can do a little, but against the weight of the Savat, it's wise to have friends.
Have a chat with Gwen.
Yes.
She can help you. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyways.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, have a very good evening. I have some things I must attend to. He will do a short bow and he will leave.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
And then Hayden will glance towards the other two gentlemen briefly, and then if they're not going to say anything to him, he's going to get back to work.
William will look over to Connors and may I speak with you for a moment privately?
Well, you
Benjamin.
may.
No, go on, sorry.
Yeah. He just looks at you. You will or you may?
I would like to.
Benjamin will nod to what's your character's name? William?
Yes,
Hayden.
William.
Yeah. To William and say I will be seeing you later, and then he leaves.
And is Hayden actually sitting down, or is he standing up at a computer laptop?
Hayden's been sat down on a desk typing the whole time.
Okay. If there is another chair or so, William will sit in the chair and not get necessarily closer, but try to stay on the same level of Hayden.
Yeah. Hayden will glance briefly towards him. You wish to talk?
So, while I don't disagree with your statement to Benjamin, I think maybe you could have worded it a bit differently. You know he's out of the Bruja family line, correct?
Perhaps, but I feel like it was the statement that needed to be worded considering the subtext. But he did good work. From what I've seen, he's been doing good work.
Go ahead, sorry.
Out of curiosity, how would you have worded it?
I'd simply say let's try to be a bit more respectful to our enemies. I understand that maybe for him and how he was raised or through the blood, he can seem vicious and bestial, but that's not always entirely in his control. And some may be offended by such a thing. So
He'll just kind of muse. Well, you do remember I am a gangrel. While I may not be a traditional gangrel, I can relate to that sentiment. I just wish to warn him that while I appreciate his sentiment, it may not be a wise thing to do to go charging in and trying to rip from limb.
Okay. Which I can agree with, but just for next time, because I've seen Bruja destroy people for less comparison to what you said. It's just for food for thought.
I'll reason on definitely reason on what you've said.
And William will stand up. I believe you had work to be done, so I won't interfere with it any longer. Have a good evening, Connors.
Have a good evening yourself. And he'll just politely nod, and then he looks back to his screen as something new flashes up. And that's pretty much the end for him.
And with that, I believe this scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Good night.